There's the Mumbai Indians playing the Chennai Super Kings. They're calling this, so it's interesting. Rohit Sharma just put it up on social media saying this is the El Clasico of the IPL. Look at Sean Pollock's reaction. He's like, I like that.
He's suffering from results of certain big matches recently.
Yeah, let's not talk about matches.
Derby. We're not going to talk about Derby matches from last night.
Talk about derbies, but hey, these two, 6 titles between them.
Yes.
Out of 11 IPLs,
correct.
Right? So fair enough to call it.
A couple of champions.
Couple of champions thrown in there as well.
Yeah, and remember how it goes. Mumbai Indians 13, 15, 17, and
19.
Could be an arithmetic progression, could be a geometric progression, I don't know.
harmonic actually.
Yeah, harmonic progression. That's not even a term, he's just showing off. So my
Nah.
doesn't exist as a term. We street educators also know something. Alright, so these two teams playing tomorrow. They are playing in Chennai, so you would say slight advantage Chennai, as you say, when you're playing on that surface. Fair to say that, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, the last surface they produced was good, wasn't it? It was a nice one. It was probably the best one we've seen at the ground so far this season.
And Shane Watson liked that.
Yeah, he loved it. He absolutely loved it. But will we see the same?
No.
I think we'll see something different.
Yeah.
Absolutely, certainly you'll see something different.
Look,
there's 4 or 5. There's on Indian grounds, unlike a lot of English grounds, you don't have a lot of pitches on the square.
Yeah.
So typically they pick 2 and say, right, IPL 7 games, 2, I've got a third backup. So much criticism on the fact that they've produced one that got 70, one that produced 109, another 150. But they knew that against Rashid and the others, they didn't want to play on a 130 pitch.
Yeah.
They come to Mumbai, they might fancy a 135, 140 pitch. So I'm expecting a slowish pitch.
Yeah. Might be. Let's have a look at their teams though. The Chennai Super Kings, let's have a look at them. They don't really like to make changes.
Full of young Turks.
Full
of young Turks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Young Dhoni, young Tahir, playing with the enthusiasm of 20-year-olds.
Young Harbhajan.
Yeah, playing with the enthusiasm of 20-year-olds. Young Watson.
Yeah, he's not changing this team.
No, not particularly if it's the surface that Hush is talking about. Then you've got your 3 spinners options, 12 overs from them, and
it's just a gut feel. I mean,
yeah, I'm sure, but it makes sense, doesn't it? Chahar, which will be good up front. You've got Bravo to bowl a couple of overs as well. So yeah, I'd be very surprised if they made any changes to that unit on their own ground.
Now Dhruv Shorey will come back as sub to take a couple of catches.
He does.
Field, so.
Yeah, outsourcing the catching too.
Yeah, outsourcing.
Let's get the young guy. Let's get the youngster in so he can take a few catches. For the Mumbai Indians, let's talk about them as well. For Mumbai Indians, they've gone
fishing in South Africa as well. They've got a South African bowler now to replace Alzari Joseph.
Yes,
there
you go.
Bjorn
Hendricks.
They've got a South African wicketkeeper, batsman at the top of the order, Quinton de Kock. Yeah, Bjorn Hendricks, left armour, came up with some high expectations. Was probably not far out of the main squad for the World Cup. Yeah. He was there and thereabout as a left-handed option.
Pace off.
He does take the pace off really well. I think what he has lost a little bit of is when I first saw him, he used to shape the ball back into the right hand as nicely as a left hand. Up front, and they brought him into the one-day team to try and see if he could do the same up front, and his initial overs weren't that great. He didn't get the ball to swing around, but in the middle he does get the experience and bowls pretty well at the death as well. Quinton de Kock, I'm interested to see how he'll go. I think this is his first bad surface, if you want to put it that way, with regards to one that might stop and turn.
An ideal one for him.
Yeah, so he likes the ball coming on. So it'd be interesting to see if they maybe go and start with someone like Harbhajan to him in those initial few overs, because not the best start. I mean, he's done all right against the spinners up front, but always prefers to rather have the seamers attack him in the first 6 overs rather than the spinners.
Yeah, and if they play a slowish pitch, which Chennai would want to do that, Mumbai is ready for it. They've got Rahul Chahar.
I wonder what they'll do with Ben Cutting though. They've got Rahul Chahar, correct?
They've got Markande, they've got Krunal Pandya.
Well, Markande didn't have a great game the other day.
Yeah.
And Krunal hasn't had a great season this year. But Rahul Chahar is. I'm just looking at Ben Cutting as a position there.
Pull it back. Yeah. Let's have a look.
They put him in at 7 because then Rahul Chahar is 8. So if they have to replace a Ben Cutting, they want someone who can bat a little bit. But Bjorn Hendricks doesn't bat, right?
No, you wouldn't really be trusting him.
Because the reason I asked Bjorn Hendricks is because they're going to lose Behrendorff very shortly. Okay. They haven't played him recently, but unless they want to check out Bjorn Hendricks and see if he's good enough to play in the playoffs.
Yeah, but I think Ben Cutting, they like to float, don't they? Like to get him up the order, and maybe they'll say to him, listen, You go and just have a whack at
and
it
he'll
up
catch
front.
one with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll probably stay with that.
Because he's a strong, powerful guy, and it doesn't matter. And he's played in Hyderabad in one. He had a good season in Hyderabad batting, especially when that pitch was also kind of slowish and sluggish.
Yes.
Right?
Wasn't it that final? Ben Cutting
Yeah, man of the final.
against RCB.
Yeah.
Tumhari gaadi gayi. I reminded Ajit of RCB.
I just gave Ajit some ice cream. He's fine.
Okay.
He's very happy right now. And also, he's an RCB fan, and he's happy. You know how RCB and KKR battles happen over
They're
here.
all singing a bridge too far, KKR.
The bridge too far, KKR. But I don't know. Actually, could be unhappy because with KKR losing today, Rajasthan's actually gone ahead of RCB. So, yeah, RCB's gone to the bottom of the table. There's just a lot of politics happening here behind the scenes. Don't ask. It involves cars and ice creams and crybabies. We'll talk about it some other day. All right, so these are what the two teams are. And just one quick word, Sean, about the pace. Mumbai Indians has a little revolving door with fast bowlers this season, don't they? Just coming and going. They're coming and going. Adam Milne, Alzari Joseph, Lasat Malinga. Is he in? Is he out? Where is he?
Is he coach? Is he player?
Is he coach? Is he player? Is he Sri Lanka? Is he India? Where is he?
No, he's player. Come on, don't be nasty to him now. He's sat on the side for a year, but no, I mean he's a lethal weapon for them, and he's still producing some good stuff. But it's been a bit topsy-turvy kind of situation for them, and not ideal, because you do start to bank on certain guys, and your team gets comfortable with certain performers playing certain roles. So yeah, not ideal situation for them, with a few injuries and a few changes, and now Behrendorff going to go back. So yeah, we have to see if Hendricks gets a gig or not.
I'm waiting to see a defining performance from Rohit Sharma.
Yeah.
We see Shikhar Dhawan has picked himself up. Dhoni is playing well. Kohli's produced some fine performances, and I'm looking beyond MI and CSK at the World Cup, and one good innings, really nice, good feel-good inning. I'd like to see Rohit Sharma go and get a big one tomorrow.
I tell you who also I think still got a bigger performance in him is Quinton. I've seen a few good 50s and stuff like that, but he is one of those guys who can take it to the next level, who can actually get a 3-figure score.
He's actually got two good surfaces to play on, because MI play KKR twice.
Yeah.
So he's playing one in Mumbai, one in Kolkata, both his kind of surfaces.
So I think we'll see a good one from him at some
and the thing is that Quinny is extremely highly regarded as a batsman world over. And
He scored all his runs against India. In India, we like him. He always scores runs against India.
But I'm glad they put Rohit back at the top with him. I mean, it just makes sense. I don't know what the thinking was last year, but those two at the top, I agree with you. I think, and particularly, in knockout phases, I think they would get through. And then at the top of the order, you've always got that potential for one of them to get a massive score, and that just sets a game up superbly, when you've got one of the top two, and they've both got that ability. I mean,
he's kept well too. He's kept all right.
Yeah, nice surface to keep on at the one kitty compared to some of the other ones.
Yeah, true. Compared to Chennai.